Okay, Eagle Nation, good news for the Birds, bad news for the Cowboys after Jefferson gets paid big time. However, it looks like the NFL is still coming after the Eagles for the Saquon Barkley tampering situation. But on a good note, it's being suggested the Eagles trade for Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton, who just had 10 touchdowns last year. Plus, it looks like the Indianapolis Colts are in the market for a veteran DB. Could they have interest in trading for James Bradberry? What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. And today, as always, we got a lot to get into. But before we do that, help your boy out and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So we got some breaking news out of the NFL that affects both the Eagles and the Cowboys. Eagles in a positive light, Cowboys in a negative light. Adam Schefter tweets, a record deal. The Vikings and three-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Justin Jefferson reached an agreement on a 4-year, $140 million contract extension that includes $110 million guaranteed and makes him not only the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history, but the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, sources tell ESPN. Nick Bosa was making an annual salary of $34. That was topped by Jefferson's $35. His deal includes $88.743 million due at signing, the highest non-quarterback guarantee at signing in NFL history, and it resets the wide receiver market. Remember, not too long ago, A.J. Brown signed a deal that made him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history with $84 million in total guarantees compared to Justin Jefferson's $110 million in total guarantees. Shoot, if you add up Smitty and AJ's total guarantees, 84 and 51, it equals $135 million compared to $110 million for just one player, Justin Jefferson, who is an absolute dog, but I'll take Smitty and AJ over Justin Jefferson every single Sunday. That being said, shout out to Howie Roseman, who knew the wide receiver market was going to explode and got not only Smitty under contract, but AJ all the way to 2028. While the Lions signed their receiver, the Dolphins get their other receiver paid, and now the Vikings get their wide receiver paid. CeeDee Lamb, who was one of the best wide receivers in 2023, is sitting there with no contract. Not only did the Cowboys got to figure his contract out, but Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons need one too. They are in a jam, and I absolutely love it. Thank you, Jerry Jones, for doing what you do best. Sit on your thumbs. Moving on to what Adam Schefter said yesterday, more about the Falcons and Eagles tampering rulings likely coming this week. Of course, our draft picks ain't going to be affected this year since the draft is already over. However, it still looks like the Eagles are going to face some type of punishment for tampering with Saquon Barkley when he came out himself and said there was no tampering. I have yet to see the proof from the NFL. They better show us when they give us the so-called ruling. I don't care about the Falcons, but I do care about the Eagles because that could be potential draft picks we lose for the 2025 draft. And again, Howie Roseman is too smart, first of all, to get caught if he did do it, but he's too smart to do it. What would be the reason? The reports were coming out left and right that Saquon wants to be an Eagle, Eagles want Saquon. What would we have had to tamper with when it was already lining up? Plus, they didn't say anything until a couple days before the draft, April 22nd, when supposedly we tampered on March 13th. It took you a month and a half to try to find evidence. You didn't announce the evidence. So I guess we all just got to wait until the ruling comes this week, and also what evidence is presented when the ruling is discussed. Speaking of wide receivers, to start this episode, Philadelphia Eagles Central tweeted a couple days ago, trending. Bleacher Report listed the Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton as a possible trade target for the Eagles. Interesting. I will say this. As it pertains to the Eagles wide receiver situation, could we use a veteran or proven outside wide receiver to back up Smitty and AJ in case something happens? Of course. Am I dying for one? No. Because although Anaya Smith and Paris Campbell play 70% of their snaps in the slot, they can play outside a little bit if needed. Plus, depending if John Ross makes it, he got some inside and outside versatility as well. Also, let's not forget Johnny Wilson. Again, he's going to make the roster. We ain't drafting for no reason. He might be raw. He might need to develop for sure. But at the end of the day, I like his skill set, and I think he's going to be a player in the future for the Eagles, or even in the present if needed for a game or two. Back to Courtland Sutton. Again, he's a talented wide receiver who's had some bad years in Denver due to that team being a disaster, quarterback problems, this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, what will we have to give up for him? If it's a lot, I'm good, because I'd much rather keep what we have on the roster and or sign a guy rather than trading draft picks for a player. But again, if we went out and made that move, I wouldn't be mad. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Would you trade for Courtland Sutton? Last year, he played 16 games, was targeted 90 times, had 59 catches for 772 yards, a 13.1 yards per reception, and 10 touchdowns. Now, before we get to CJ Stroud's top 5 quarterbacks, we also got to talk about a beat writer's worst Eagles take I've ever read. Plus, could the Colts have interest in James Bradberry, and would the Eagles trade him? Let's hear a word from our sponsor, Mando, the best way to control odor for your pits, packages, and feet. And I know some of y'all need it for your feet. My favorite is the deodorant Mount Fuji. Sorry about the green screen, but this deodorant is the longest lasting deodorant I honestly ever use. Some of these other brands claim 48 hours. They barely work for 6 to 8. This one controls odor for 72 hours. I'm telling you, the longest lasting. Plus, you put some other deodorants on, guess what? It's itchy, it's sticky, it bothers, at least me. I know it bothers some of y'all. This one is so smooth and solid. I promise you can't go wrong with this. But in the starter pack, you get wipes. Quick for your packages, your feet, or the pits real quick, especially after the gym, right? Plus, they come with a lotion. That's mainly for those feet and those packages that, you know what I mean, the soap and the showers don't do. You still should be taking a shower. Go to the description or the pinned comment section at shopmando.com. Click it. Use promo code PhillyMike, all capitals, to get $5 off. Once again, link in the description and the pinned comment at shopmando.com. Click the link. Use code PhillyMike, all capital, not the exclamation point, and get $5 off your starter pack. Promise you, you won't regret it. Okay, let's start with the worst tweet I've seen in a while. Marcus Haynes of the Philly Inquirer. Of course, I don't follow him. He started out by saying, Howie Roseman scrapped Reddick for Huff. I guess you can say that, although the price tag for both these guys and the age is totally different. It is what it is. But listen to this next sentence. He has 2 first-round D tackles who might be bust after missing on Dillard and Rager. First of all, you're still bringing Dillard up and Rager when we have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. Who cares how it came, how he did it? Plus, yes, Dillard was a bust. But in the same sentence, you could say we got an all-pro left tackle around the same time. So with Dillard being so bad and Rager being so bad, why do we have a top 5 offensive line and a top 5 wide receiving core? So you can't use it against him. 2 D tackles that are busts? First of all, Jordan Davis is not a bust. Want to see more in year 3 for sure. But Jalen Carter, the word bust and Jalen Carter cannot be in the same sentence. This is blasphemy. The next sentence is crazy as well. He threw assets at the DB spot, but ... Are you trying to say that Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are bust already? Or what are you trying to say? Of course, I didn't read the article because these topics are ridiculous. Next, he really said his $255 million quarterback regressed. Man, the turnovers weren't good. But if you look at that season in its totality, 38 total touchdowns, and just say super regressed or like he's not going to get back to 2022, then you're just jumping the gun for no reason. Then he finished with, Jeff Lurie considered Bill Belichick, Howie is on the clock. Please let me know your thoughts on what that beat writer Marcus Haynes just said. My goodness. Now, let's get to CJ Stroud's top 5 quarterbacks.
I know what I'm doing, dog. Mahomes, Lamar, myself, Dak, Joey B.
Nah, he didn't really play last year.
Off of last
And
year.
then Hurts.
Dak,
Yeah, bro.
Dak?
Dak, that boy. Y'all not gonna say that because he ain't won the big one yet.
You said Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, Matthew, but he was in the top 5 last year.
Cowboys thing.
Bro, you gonna put Dak Prescott in there over Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I got.
I'm saying off of last year, dog. He ain't play all year. He got hurt.
Well, we can
Burrow,
find somebody.
Burrow, one of my favorite players. I'm out of my game after Burrow a little bit. Like,
why you don't fuck with that?
Cowboys.
Oh, Eagles and
Dak is that
Cowboys,
dude,
they don't
bro.
like each other like that? I ain't know all that.
What?
I ain't see. I don't be knowing all that.
Dak tough, bro. Dak is one of the most accurate quarterbacks
Y'all got to see them
in
this
the
year,
world.
don't y'all?
Yeah, we playing.
Oh, my God, the battle in Texas.
You gonna take care
Monday
of that for
night
me? Yeah, take
Where y'all
care of
playing
that
at?
for me, man.
in Dallas.
Yeah, he has Dak in there, but he also has Jalen Hurts. And let's not lie, Dak Prescott choked in the playoffs like he always does, but his regular season was good. And for everybody who wants to poo-poo Jalen Hurts, CJ Stroud, another great quarterback, looks across and says, that guy is a baller. That guy's a gamer. He's in my top 5. I'd rather get a top 5 recommendation from Real Recognizing Real than some of these analytics, Colin Cowherd, Nick Wright. I mean, these guys haven't played the sport, so I'm going to listen to CJ Stroud and just know what we saw from Jalen Hurts last year is going to be 100% better in 2024 just because the offensive play calling will be open and different, not predictable. It won't all be on Jalen Hurts to get yards. Moving on to what Word on the Bird said from Twitter, Bleacher Report once again lists the Colts as a trade suitor for James Bradberry. This is what they had to say. Adding the soon-to-be 31-year-old would give the Colts another starting option at cornerback and a good mentor for their young position group at the least. So the Colts being somewhat a competitor in the AFC with young quarterback Anthony Richardson and a couple young DBs, you bring a guy who in 2022 was an all-pro, 2023 was really bad, but his knowledge for the game could help their young guys, and you get a potential starter. I don't know what the actual trade would be for. I wouldn't think the Eagles would get much because unloading that contract would be enough. Good gracious for the Eagles. Now remember, it is post June 1st, so if we cut him, it's not $10 million in dead cap money. It's around $4 million. We'll see what happens this week in mandatory camp that starts tomorrow. Will James Bradberry be there? If not, then we really got to look into something. That being said, we could have post June 1st cut Bradberry in April, in May. You could designate up to 2 to 3 people for post June 1st cuts. So it's not like we had to wait till June to cut him. So I'm thinking, like I've been saying, the Eagles are going to give him every opportunity to show he can get back to 2022 James Bradberry and keep him on the roster with the bulk of the other DBs as leverage in case anybody does come calling for a DB because the room is stacked. But we just got to wait and see. But mandatory camp should be interesting. Lastly, Jake Rabati of the NFL said a couple days ago, a player he heard the Eagles are happy with how their offseason is going is right guard Tyler Steen, which is important because that's the one question mark we have on this offensive line. Again, you can say, how is Cam Jurgens going to be at center for Jason Kelce? Although I think it's going to fit like a glove. Right guard is the next position, Tyler Steen. And the Eagles like how his offseason has came about. Zach Berman tweeted a couple weeks ago, Tyler Steen turned around the question of whether right guard is his job to lose. He simply said it's his job to earn, so nothing is being given. Stalin University, second-year man. Could he graduate early and join the starting lineup, which I think he will. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. Leave all your thoughts in the comment section. I absolutely love hearing from y'all. Click the description and or the pinned comment section. Go to the pinned comment section and get your Mando. 40% off if you use my link. Like I said, the deodorant is fire. We got the wipes on hand as well. And let's not forget the lotion. These things come in handy. I absolutely love all 3 of them. Do your boy a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. Drop the muscle emoji. We out.